you no lie. Better bye 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 bye. Better bye 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 bye. Listen my song, kill that the hi-fi. Better bye 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 bye. Better bye 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 bye. Play enough for so you can say you're a pilot. Have whole heap of girl that a link a lot. Me have the big bar, rough now must win a lot and every month I hit I spin the slots. Boy, cause you know me no play. Can't shut me up, me have enough things to say. Real dog gun, we not in a delay. Say we a chat live and we a listen Johnny K. Play enough for so you can say you're a pilot. Have whole heap of girl that a link a lot. Me a the big dog, rough now must win a lot. And every month I hit pass, I spin the slots. Tell you the truth when I gon' tell you no lie. Better bye 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 bye. Better bye 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 bye. Listen my song, kill that the hi-fi. Better bye 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 bye. Better bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Now go die. Now go die. Bye 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 bye. Now go die. Now go die. Now go now go now go now go now go now go now go.
Hello and welcome everyone to the TXG Valorant Circuit Invitation and of course Invitational, sorry. We are here for the first day of the semi-finals between Yijing and Big T and Kittens. With that being said, I'm your caster for the afternoon/evening Abyss, and joined with me is the one and only Mercury, and we're gonna be here to bring you the action and the excitement and of course the thrill of this semi-finals. Mercury, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing, man. 4 teams remain in this tournament. Oh, I think we still there we go. We're visible. Yeah, 4 teams remain in this tournament. I can't wait to see them play, and over the course of this weekend we're going to see all of these upcoming matches. It is going to be incredible gameplay ahead of us. We've got BO3 today and a BO3 tomorrow, and then I believe it's BO5 for the finals. It's going to be very, very exciting to see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, definitely. Especially since a lot of these teams have really been somewhat, in a sense, like intense. A lot of these games have been intense in this tournament so far, and I think a lot of them are very much competitive, especially since this is the semi-finals after all. So all of these teams have definitely like proven themselves in their own way. But of course, you know, now it is time for the semi-finals, and of course Yijing and Big T and Kittens, they actually did not get to fight each other, because the way the semi-finals works is that the first seed from group A will fight the second seed of group B and so forth. So Yijing is actually the seed number 1 in group B, whereas Big T and Kittens is actually the seed number 2 from group A. So of course they have never fought each other yet, and I'm looking forward to what these two teams have in store for us, given the fact that they are going to be fresh faces for each other. So I'm sure they have studied the tournaments. The VODs are of course available for them to study in this competition, so I'm sure they've prepared well enough.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot more exciting things to see. I think all eyes for me have to be on Yijing, right? They've had an incredible run in the group stage here. They got pushed to the very brink by both Trident and Bow's Little Buns, but they still were able to clean sweep their way all the way to a 2-0 start, 4-0 in terms of their games across this tournament so far. And then on the other side of things, I think Troopers in that second semi-finals, definitely the ones to be looking out for. But we got so many amazing matches to be ahead of us, right? We've got we'll get into the map veto soon, obviously, but we're starting out with Sunset, which is a map that, you know, Yijing, they're 2-0 on this map across this tournament so far, but it is a very suspect 2-0 because they've been pushed to overtime both times around. There you go, you can see it now. Summit, Ascent, Swift, and Lotus are those bands, and if we do get to that game 3, it will be Breeze, a bit of a classic for you. What do you think about this video?
I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense given the fact that, you know, given what I know about these teams, you know, I don't know much about Big T and Kittens as much as I do Yijing. I know a bit more about Yijing because I got to cast them in previous tournaments as well. So I know they do favor some of these maps, such as like Sunset being one of their favorites as well in this tournament and in previous tournaments. So I'm not exactly surprised that it's out here. Of course, they are going to be on defense across all 3 maps, by the way, which is just a funny little detail, by the way. But Sunset, Haven, Breeze, I think it's a very much good display of different styles of maps, with Sunset being a relatively small map, Haven a 3-site map, and Breeze of course being one of those larger open area maps. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of variety when it comes to agent comps, and that's what I'm kind of looking forward to here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen from the Sunset alone, right? This comp that Yijing brought out, rather against Chubby Bunnies, not against Trident in that group stage. It had the veto, it had Waylaid, it had Mix in there as well. Like, this is an incredibly versatile team here going up against Big T, and it's really going to be on Big T starting out here on the offense. I believe they're going to have to set the tone of this entire series.
Yeah, I definitely think that you need to really get that momentum going on when as early as possible, right? Especially when you're in such a big position, right? Semifinals, I mean, you're fighting against some big names, I'd say, in the tournament. So you need to set the momentum right off the bat, right off the attacking side, or even if you are playing on defense, right? You need to be able to set the tone when it comes to this early on semifinals. The fact that it's a best of 3, right? You're going to be going the potential distance all 3 games. But I'm looking forward to what the agent select will be bringing entertaining us here, because I'm sure it'll definitely be somewhat of an interesting draft, given the fact that both Yijing and Big T and Kittens have definitely kind of studied this sort of like theory crafting that they've done for themselves and of course their opponents. But yeah, here we have it, the agent select as well. What are you thinking here, Mercury?
Interesting that we're seeing, at least from Yijing, a big switch up on this map compared to what we've seen from them before, at least in their first series. You know, looking at their winners match on Sunset, had I mean, it looks even very different from that, right? They had the Waylay, they had the Breach, they had you know, the Neon is finally going to get locked in here from Neon as well, sorry, from Dragon rather as well. But they don't have the Teo. Obviously, Flogger with that Cypher is sort of going to fill that role a little bit here. But we're seeing sort of three different styles of team composition here from Yijing across their three showings on Sunset so far. It's really going to be a bit of a question mark heading into this.
Yeah, I think this is very much an interesting like composition being ran from both sides, right? I definitely am surprised by some of these picks, especially like the Clove being picked up on the side of Yijing. Definitely unorthodox, I'd say, and not something I really expect. Double Sentinel though as well with the Cypher and the Chamber, which I am very much loving, especially since I am a big fan of Chamber personally, my personal bias. I think he's very much underrated and has done a really good job with how people have done a really good job with how Chambers ran in these sort of like positions, wherein you just play these off angles, you play these more aggressive plays, right, that allow you to get these really weird picks, and you can just get out easily with the Rendezvous. But of course, going to Big T and Kittens, Waylay, Sage, definitely something that we've seen maybe in like tier 1 Valorant, but seeing it here is definitely exciting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 72 hours ago, or a little bit over that, we saw Big T use this exact same team composition to tie the series against Noob Esports and eventually make that comeback in the decider match to qualify out of Group A. So a lot on the line here as we start things off for Sunset. And this series as a whole, a lot riding on the line, not just the prestige of being able to play either Troopers or Buns in that final, but also the money prize pool at the end is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to how this tournament will be going on moving forward here. And of course, you know, as you mentioned, right, the grand finals are definitely going to be intense as well. But, you know, in the semis alone, Yijing and Big T and Kittens, I feel like this is going to be a competitive series. I am somewhat theorizing. I don't want to, like, jinx anything as a caster, but I am kind of looking forward to and hoping we are going to be going into 3 games, because I feel like both teams definitely have something in store for us, given the fact that this is the semifinals, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. A lot of these teams have, you know, things up their sleeve that perhaps they haven't shown yet. Maybe that's what Yijing is doing with this comp, really trying to throw off the opponents. We'll have to see. These gates are about to drop, though. Looks like B-side will be under attack.
Yeah, I like this already. The B execution coming on forward. And of course, we do have the Cypher as well. With Zera actually playing on this somewhat lurk position. But I think Flogger will actually be able to spot some of them out. Go back. Get a little bit of attack. But as well as it is, it's going to be a B-side attack here. Flogger on his lonesome actually getting some support from the backside with the Neon. However, they need to be careful because ZJK is actually able to get a kill on the Dragon. And now, 4 versus 5. Spike yet to be planted. And yet, Flogger ends up falling as well. The flank coming out from K, though, is huge. Minimize actually is the one that wanted to flank. K on the backside.
Massive flank from the Perth boy there. Shout out to WA. And now it's just Wisp standing. And this is looking so good to start out for Big T in this first. It's not over just yet. There's the first, and the shot from Kovac. We'll find it. Yijing, they move up their first pistol round on the board.
Already going off to a very strong start from the side of Yijing. Admittedly, of course, it was a close round down to the 1 versus 1, but I feel like given the fact that they didn't really have a good setup on that B side, kind of playing a more defensive position, made it a bit difficult to actually contest a little bit of that attack, but it ended up working in their favor, right? And especially with that huge flank from Minimize.
Absolutely. It looks like Big T and move over towards A this time around. Not too much in the way of util. Going to be set up here except for that trademark, so that's probably going to get spotted and destroyed in an instant. No one defending, so they're going to have to find themselves retaking this site in its entirety. Minimize not going for the flank this time around, so it will be a full push from Spawn. Good shot from Dragon to start things off.
Yeah, beautiful shot already, getting the first blood onto the Waylay. The spike has been planted, however, Bizarra also ends up falling. I mean, this Guardian's already finding a lot of value as Sai as well getting taken down right to the box. And at the very least, it will be Dragon falling, but it's all down to Verdict, 18 HP. At the very least, Spike was planted and it does end up falling as well. Anti-eco round going to the side of Yijing, but you know, Spike planted, 1 kill, not the worst round it could have been for Big T and Kittens.
I don't know about that, but I mean, like, good performance from them. But Dragon, what a showing! Just absolutely flexing on them through the wall like that. I think it was trying to hit the Sage there, trying to hit ZGK, but just to get the other one at the end of the door. Incredible performance from them. They did get the spike down, like you mentioned, so a little bit in the back pocket, and they're building towards those ultimates. TSY, namely, going to have a lot more maneuverability on this map once From the Shadows is online. It looks like they're going to take things a little bit slow going into round 3.
Yeah, I feel like you need to play a little bit more slowly in this kind of position where you are going to be on the bonus, you are going to be playing for this advantageous weaponry, but Echo already burning the light speed and the refract, trying to get some space down towards A main, does force the Dragon actually out of position. As now the drone down towards mid K, trying to get some information. Does spot out one at the very least with the gunfire, but it's just a slow play here, Mercury.
Absolutely, it is. Not willing to give up a single inch of room. Dragon blocking, waiting. Oh, misses the headshot. Crucially, forced to give up that corridor. And with Wisp finding that first, might not suspect around the corner, manages to get the headshot as well. And that gives them such an incredible opening here. This could be what they're looking for.
Flogger able to find one as well. Gets the dink, but I mean, on a Spectre, not really the most powerful weapon in that kind of scenario. Chai is able to get him down. 2 versus 4. Kovac needs to be careful. They are going to be pushing down towards his B side, and I believe he does have the off angle available, but Wisp Zera is just a tad bit cleaner, and Dragon also ends up falling too. Wisp Zera with a 4K already has a Neuro Theft available, already keeping majority of the players alive on the side of Big T and Kittens.
What a performance from Wisp. He said to Dragon, anything you can do, I can do better. Hits him with the 4. And now, granted, to be fair to Yijing, it was a bit of an expected round win, given the utility difference, but even still, a lot of those shots whiffing when they perhaps really shouldn't have. A bit of sloppiness from Big T that needs to be refined going into the next few rounds. Now that they've got full guns, is absolutely going to be taken advantage of. They're jumping on the wall here for Wisp. Not going to catch anyone just yet in mid. So there is the rotate. Maybe can find something, but he's spotted from that from the recon dart, I believe. So going to be forced off of that wall. Crucial bit of util out of play.
And already Case able to get a picked out the Whip Zero. That dark cover actually doesn't cover much at all there, as there was a little bit of a gap.
There.
Echo.
Oh, spots the gun.
Yeah, it does spot the gun indeed, and they are aware of it, but Kovac's able to find a kill to Echo despite him being the one to break the door. And now it's a 3 versus 5, 2 players down on the side of Big T and Kittens. They need to try and scale up somewhere here, but they're kind of hesitant as to where they want to be pushing out, especially since Flogga made himself deep into a corner as ZJK is able to find one Flogga on the flank, however, and the Sage ends up falling as well. A clean round coming out from the side of Yijing as they take down Big T and Kittens piece by piece, securing a 3rd round for them.
They were just completely trapped in mid there. They couldn't make any concessions into any area of this map, and an incredible hold from Yijing will put them up 3. Some ultimates ready and on the way. Eyes have to be towards this Hunter's Fury for a potential stop or delay on that plant. And we can see that the economy not 100% here for the side of Big T heading into this round, so going to be even more of a disadvantage. They might not have spotted Minimize heading into this corner. Hang on a moment.
This is a bit risky though. I feel like they're very much wary of this. With the recon dart being broken early, they should expect the bait play. One way coming forward, but Kovac's out of this one down. But Minimize is able to find 2! Does have the resurrection available though on the side of Big T and Kittens, so Echo will be left alive. Dragon looking for the swing, able to catch up Shia on the shot. It's stepped over for a second, but ZJK is very much good on these duels. Low HP left remaining though. Tag on the Neuro Theft, but K is very much ready for the push on forward. Trying to find Wisp Zera, but doesn't land a shot. Cypher looking for the swing, and Flogga is much more calm in 1 versus 1, and they're able to get the round win once again.
Blink.
What a tense round to bring us to 6. I mean, how else can you expect that to go other than Big T just rushing onto the side? But Flogger, I mean, this is what we've come to expect from Flogger. This level of precise gunplay, managing to clean things up there. And now it's going to leave Big T in a bit of a precarious situation here after losing this. Their economy is not going to be in that great of a position. Going to be stuck with some sheriffs. You've got to imagine some half shields as well. Not a great situation. Minimize going a bit far forward this time around, but again, not spotted crucially. And that ultimate is 1 point away. And DJK is already down. They're falling like flies.
They're getting destroyed here already, right off the bat. It's gonna be a flawless round most likely here. I mean, it's gonna be the last remaining player here on the side of Big T and Giddens the Oldman, which is of course gonna be So Distilled, by the way, apparently is his name. Just gonna be hearing that out. He will end up falling. Of course, it was an econ round at the very least, but of course, it was a round that was very much strong on the side of Yijing, and a timeout will rightfully be called here on the side of Big T and Kittens.
Much needed, that is for sure. As Yijing take a commanding lead in this first half. And what can you really hope to do here for Big T if you're heading into this? You've got some ultimates to work with, but we've seen how Yijing can just hold these defenses. They haven't really been able to get too many spikes down.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's just been a dominating first half for the side of Yijing. They're able to contest a lot of this neutral space. And in fact, they even contest some of the forward space by taking over control of mid. That B main space as well being taken over. And Yijing, they are very much, as you mentioned, right? I love the way you put it. They're able to just play off their defensive side much more cleanly. In fact, they don't even play too much forward on site itself. Very much taking a little bit of their time when it comes to those retakes or playing towards those executions that Big T and Kittens are forcing a lot of the time, and that's what's working for them at the moment for the side of Yijing.
Those cars in the distance. Yeah, production just pointed out they don't have wheels. Interesting. Maybe this is the future that, yeah, this is the future we need. Dragon very far forward here and just immediately shot down.
Yeah, So Distilled just took him out. I mean, the saturate was beautiful from Echo, by the way, who was able to get that slow, the hinder onto Dragon. So a little bit of an overextension. Wisp Zera actually finds the timing as well. And now they're going to be executing down towards B side with a light speed. Of course, Echo's able to find a little bit of space here, but at the same time, I feel like they're kind of falling. Echo's going to be forcing the conversion plans on the minimize. He gets hit by it. They're able to find a kill, however, on So Distilled will be activating the knockdown again. Looking for the swing on forward, but there is going to be the crossfire coming out from Big T and Kittens. It's all down to our child, which is Swirl, who ends up falling as well. A 3K for the Waylay, and at the very least, Big T and Kittens can convert a round off the timeout.
Yeah, not Swirly's world this time around. Echo, the one to take that home. A good showing from them, but even still, a lot to make up for in this first half. Yijing, they've got a lot of economy to work with. They can back it up, but not much lost for Big T in the grand scheme of things. Plus, they get that plant down, so they are quite happy with how that round went.
I definitely think they are so much in a comfortable position, though, you know, on the side of Yijing, as you mentioned, right? The economy is definitely looking in their favor. Thing is, I don't think they want to be overextending as they did a while ago, because Dragon was definitely punished earlier on. And now it's going to be another just stalled out play from both sides. The Owl Drone to clear out A main, and I think Mercury right here, Big T and Kittens are going to look to potentially contest this elbow control as Echo is going in with light speed.
Yeah, Echo worried that Dragon might be on the other side of things, but not there this time around. His other teammates will have to be aware of that. Oh, Dragon, this lurk forward could be incredibly lethal. Are they ready? Not going to land the headshot this time around, but has the ultimate to work with. Come on, Swirl. Are you going to hold?
A play.
There's three
That's not
here.
the rendezvous.
I've seen Swirl do this before. There's the first, there's the opening. One down to the right as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Kadiri is able to
A.
find a kill as well with the shock dart and ends up falling to ZJK. 2 versus 3. Spike was reclaimed by
enemy
Sony Still,
remaining.
but now
30
Wisp
seconds
Zero
left.
finds a beautiful lurk up down towards mid and able to take down Swirl. 1 versus 3. We may have jinxed Swirl, by the way, you know, kind of hyping up the angle of that chamber, and he ends up not really finding much value. Spike will be planted, but Floga,
Spike
no 1 versus
planted.
3, most likely won't be able to find this round, but may try to look for a pick at the very least, especially since I'm hearing on from Prod that ZJK may have disconnected actually from this position. Fire falling.
Ooh, doesn't even matter at this point. The distance, the long distance stare into the wall from ZJK psyched him out, I reckon.
Yeah,
But nice
yeah,
round
most
there.
likely.
Nice round there from Big T. Finally able to string 2 together. A bit of a way to come back, but they've got a lot of tools left at their disposal to do so.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Big T and Kittens are slowly but surely closing the gap, right? They're able to get 3 rounds now on the board, and I feel like how things have been panning out, I think Yijing are starting to deviate a little bit from what was working from them. They like to play these more defensive angles. They like to play more for those retakes, right? While contesting mid space. But now they've been shifting a little bit, trying to contest early on that, let's say, A or in B main, right? And sure, it worked at 1 round, but now it seems to be falling apart, especially when they lose that mid control.
Absolutely, it is. I believe the reconnect is back, so nothing to fear if you're a fan of Big T. They'll still be in fighting force heading in towards this. 6-6 for ZJK, so definitely don't want to lose that fragger. This looks like we've got another pause coming in. I might have spoken a little bit too soon.
I mean, you know, despite the pause, right? I mean, it's just a little bit of a tech issue, but you know, I want to point out actually that there is going to be an operator being picked up by Echo, it seems, on a Waylay. Very unorthodox, that's for sure, since you don't really expect your entry fragger to be picking up an operator, especially on someone like a Waylay, right? Jet maybe, sure, but this will be an interesting weapon here to bring into this next round, especially since they'll be contesting A main space.
Sure he is, and round will begin. Swirl. Good for one to start things off. There's that Neon ult. Immediately going to get shut down. I guess that operator is going to work out this time around. Proving you wrong there. Minimize as well.
Spike down B.
Drops that spike. Has a bit of an opening.
And looking for the kill, Minimize ends up falling, however. Wisp Zera able to take him down. Of course, healing
I
orbs
know
available, but Floga needs to be careful. Heroes that being activated from both sides, and it will be punished. At the very least, Swirl is able to get the trade out now, and it's a 2 versus 2. A side is completely open, and I believe they are wary of this. And Big T and Kittens, they're looking to cancel out their push and try and play a bit more on the slower end of things as the Owl Drone does come on forward. But no, they are going to be looking to push on forward. Saturate does land on the Kadiri. They're holding him, looking for a swing potentially as the recon dart will be coming out. Spike just on the tap as Wisp Zera will be completely at the rendezvous onto the high ground. Echo needs to be careful of this bait play, especially since it could be doubled up. Mercury, it's gonna be 2 versus 1 take here.
Look
It
at
will be
Kadiri.
Kadiri.
They're just pincering them in. Up around the corner. They're lined up, and there's the first. Swirl, he gets it, but Kadiri's there to collect. There's 6 on the board for Yijing.
That was a beautiful play coming out from side of Yijing, actually baiting out Swirl intentionally with a jump. He kind of puts Echo on a tough spot, especially since he kind of has to take his time on that swing, on that aim, on that shot. And it was enough time for Kadiri to actually play off of that and actually go for that swing. You know, baiting out your teammate in a 2 versus 1 definitely has value there, but at the very least it was costly for the side of Yijing, as now they aren't really in the most comfortable of buys, but neither are Big T and Kittens.
It's absolutely, I mean, the economy position here for both these teams isn't great heading into the final 3 rounds. But all eyes have to be on this chamber. Look at the 2 of the force in the hands. I mean, this is not a player that you want to mess with, Swirl. He's been in the scene for a while. He knows what he's doing with the chamber ult. There's the first.
yeah, able to find the first kill onto Minimize, and now Dragon may be pincered here. At the very least, Assassin doesn't land, but he's gonna be looking and hunting for a kill, but Echo's able to take him down. Resurrection was also available anyway, so even if he gets a pick, it wouldn't really matter. As now, Kadiri as well. They're getting picked off one by one, and Wisp Zera still holding onto the flank. I feel like Yijing would much rather just save in this round, but Swirl does have the tour de force available, trying to hunt for a kill, but this looks very undoable on the side of Yijing.
Saving after popping the tour de force feels so miserable. But I mean, what can you really do in this situation? All of the angles are really covered here, especially with that beautiful wall blocking off the other angle. Flogger, good for one at the very least. They will make it not a flawless round. Gets the peak up, but it's perfect. And now, maybe he can find something to walk off. Good for one, but the TP behind, and that goes there to collect. There's 4 on the board for the side of Big T.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, right, Big T and Kittens are just going back and forth here now with Yijing, and given the fact that they were able to get the spy plant, they are going to be having somewhat of an advantage into the economy in this next round, and Yijing, it seems like they're going to be forcing. I mean, granted, they do want to end this first half with a decent advantage here, right? Giving out a round by saving may not be the best course of action, so I am pretty much satisfied with this decision making, but they can be heavily punished here if they end up losing it.
This angle this time around.
Spike drop
on the way. Only Minimize on the defense and has the Perth ping, so I'll see how that ends up going here. Verdict trying to clear best as they can. Hunter's Fury buying a whole lot of space. Might find a kill as well. No, but the Hunter's incredibly low. You cannot back
Verdict's the one.
Trying to claim this. Minimize. Good for 2. They've isolated the spike and it's just up to Verdict.
This isn't very doable for Verdict, to be honest. I mean, it's a 1 versus 4, and granted he does able to get the kill. He was able to get a kill on the Dragon. Yeah, valiant attempt nonetheless. But of course, Yijing definitely had the numbers advantage, and so many ults were burned there. Convergent Bats, Hunter's Fury on both sides. I mean, really not a lot to work with now going into the next half, or the next round, sorry. But they do have the Resurrection available and the Not Dead Yet available as well. So, you know, there is kind of like that second life kind of thing going into this, so I am wondering how both teams will be playing this out now, given the fact that it is the last round.
Absolutely is. Everything on the table here. Resurrection available for Big T if they so choose, if they even need it. They actually might now because Echo falls on down. Dragon's good for 2. And they are trying to continue this approach, it seems.
They're able to get the Resurrection actually available, and Kadiri is one traded, but ends up falling. It doesn't matter though, as Dragon is able to collect a 4K, at the very least giving Yijing 8 rounds on this first half. A very strong start for the side of the YJ team, as Big T and Kittens are going to be going the defense half. Let's see how they try to turn things around here.
This is their max pick as well, so it is one that they are expected to at least perform well on, right? And they're 5 rounds away from claiming victory here and moving up to not only match point, but you know, a chance at the gold medal here already in this game, in this series. It is incredibly dominant so far from Yijing. This is what we've come to expect from these players all across this year so far, if we're being completely honest. So yeah, I'll have to see how the rest of this map goes, and then obviously Haven is the one after that. Another one of those maps that is incredibly experienced for these players.
Yeah, I feel like experience plays a large part in these kind of games, especially since you need to be playing for that mental game as well, as Verdict and Echo are able to pick them off 1 by 1. In fact, Yijing are just swinging 1 by 1, and I don't think that's really the most valuable of plays. That's now minimized, low on HP as well. So they're still trying to go for the pinch as well, but at the same time, it just is flawless for Big T and Kittens. That is not what you'd be expecting going into the pistol round here.
I glazed them for like 25 seconds straight, and then they go and do that. No, I mean, incredible from an incredible recon dart there from Verdict. Just completely reveals everything that they're going for. And then they just continue to commit towards it. Incredible hold there from Echo, from Verdict. Get that first pistol round on board. Now we'll have to see if they can continue this momentum heading in towards the rest of this half. They're probably going to get this one and see how this conversion goes. Not out of the woods just yet, especially with Dragon doing that with the shorty. That is crazy.
That is not what you'd be expecting.
And look at all the that gives him. Oh, Swirl, you gotta hit that shot.
That is not what you want to be seeing from Swirl there. At the very least, Kadiri will be able to trade it out, but I mean, it should have been a free pick there onto So Distilled. But
your
it
eyes,
just
children.
Avert your eyes indeed. But hey, it's a 3 versus 3. They're gonna be able to pick up some of the weaponry here, most likely on that elbow, but it is gonna be a difficult round nonetheless. They are able to contest a side here, but Minimize, you may be in here for a surprise as Verdict turns around at the wrong time, as he will be able to fall now. 3 versus 2, and somehow this anti-eco round is going in the favor of Yijing.
Minimize does what Swirl can't, it seems, as there's 2 left on the defense here. This is a disastrous anti-eco for the side of Big T, losing so many of these guns. It's not out of the woods just yet, but look at Minimize's position here with the Guardian as well. As it's available, not going to find the first, but he's traded back. It's down to the 1v1. Maybe they can find something. Oh, spots the gun though. Flogger around the corner. There it is.
I don't know how to get by
9
without
on the board for Yijing.
If they try,
That's not what you want to be seeing on the side of Big T and Kittens. Of course, it was a light armor on Wisp Zero, I believe, or Wisp, which is why he ends up actually falling to an outlaw. But I mean, off the pick of Dragon there, by the way, with the shorty, and somehow getting the pick as well on the Verdict. Minimize finding an amazing timing on that rotation, on that swing, and now it will be a very beautiful buy from the side of Yijing, and they're keeping that outlaw, which will be very much a detrimental aspect into Big T and Kittens round win here potentially.
Absolutely will be. They are already spreading out in towards mid here on this approach. Minimized by a lot of time. Corner. Ooh, almost finds the first big chunk of damage on towards 2. And that's going to keep their attention firmly towards A. Meanwhile, Wisp might not be expecting, misses the first shots. Might not have made a difference. Who knows, but Minimize holding for now, falls on down, but we'll get a little bit of healing, a little bit of damage rather onto ZJK. They've got the spike, they've got all the room to work with that they could ask for here, and oh no, Swirl, don't do it to him, don't do it to him, Swirl.
And he does not.
Cage triggered.
He ends up falling actually, in fact, and Flogga is able to find 2 with the right click classic on the ZJK. Trying to hunt for more here, but Verdict was able to pick up the Vandal actually, in fact, and now it's a 2 versus 2, what should have been a pretty clean round from Yijing. Seems to be a little bit shaky as the Recon Dart won't be spotting out Dragon, but shots aren't landing as well. Relay Bolt trying to stall this out, but I feel like they're saving on the side of Big T and Kittens, especially since Echo is holding on to such a very defensive angle, as it should be a round win for the side of Yijing, but they lose out on 4 players here.
Scanning ahead.
Absolutely do. Make a big dent in everything that they're trying to do in this half. But granted, oh, what a flick. Hang on a moment. That was just for style, Kadiri. I respect it. I respect it.
Disgusting flick from Kadiri there.
15 kills for both Kadiri and Flogger. They have been running this game so far. And there's only 3 rounds to go for them to try and take this series point here. A lot on the line. They've got the full buy basically up and available for them. And now's the time for Big T to really try and strike back, because their chances in this first game are just slipping away moment by moment here.
Yeah, and now Flogga trying to take some space down towards mid. You know, I mean, as you mentioned, right, it's slipping piece by piece, but at the moment, I feel like Big T and Kittens can definitely try to find and convert around here. It will be a risky jump from ZJK, but Flogga, you need to be careful of this little bit of a swing, as Echo has been able to find a flank onto the Cypher. The Cypher is supposedly the lurk, gets lurked on himself, as so does Stills able to find a kill on the Dragon, and now Kadiri, 1-1. It's all down to Kovac Child, which is Swirl, who also will die in this round. A flawless round for the side of Big T and Kittens, and this is exactly what they need if they want to try and make a comeback here.
Great collapse there from Big T. Every single moment there, they just outmaneuvered anything that Yijing was trying to do. You try and push through mid, they've got all 3 angles covered, right? You try and approach towards the side, they are there, they're ready, they've got the util to stop you. And now we're in this situation where they invested so much into that round, they're going to be stuck on, you know, mini shields and sheriffs for this entire round here. And granted, we have seen them do a lot with even less than this, but it is an incredibly tense situation here.
Oh
And
my
there you go,
gosh.
that's how you start things off, Flogger.
Yeah, already able to get a first kill here, first blood as Echo trying to hunt on the Swirl, but Swirl just decides to
I
pick
know
the safer
exactly
angle
where
here, and
you
now
are.
Neural Theft will reactivate. He's trying to pick up the gun here, but Flogger gets shot right through the cyber cage. Now he's to be careful. They are able to get information here on the Verdict, but Verdict's able to find 2. Minimize though does find Echo, and Swirl is able to get the flank, and now this should be a B site open. As Minimize looking for more, gets found, however, with Sarah
Spike
able to
planted.
collect the kill. And now it will be Swirl walking on forward, trying to find some
enemy
space, trying to look for the
remaining.
first kill here, but it will be so distilled to take him down with Kadiri. With the Sheriff unable to find a single pick, as it will be a close round, but Big Team Kittens are still able to secure it.
I don't know why they pushed forward there instead of securing the site and allowing. Oh, hang on. And allowing Big T to move in towards them, but they just try and make something happen there, and it doesn't work out. And Big T now are within striking distance of tying this up, and this is what we've seen from Yijing on this map, right? Every single time they play it, it always goes pretty much the distance, right? We had OT in their second one. I think it was 3 OT in their third, in their first game on this map. This is a notorious position that they find themselves in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they actually want to be in this position. And by the way, Ken, I just want to point this out. I just find this always interesting as Echo, I didn't even get to mention it yet. Echo is on the operator once again and finds 2 on the Minimize and Dragon. This is a horrible start for Yijing into this next round, especially since this is their bye round. And now they are on the back foot.
I apologize, Echo. I was not familiar with your game here. That's 3 op kills already. Looking for a 4th onto Kadiri if he does move out into the open. And they haven't given up any room towards this is Verdict's home turf here. He will fall on down. I just jinxed him, so I do apologize to that, but that gives Yijing a huge opening towards that A site if they so choose. Where do they go? Oh, hang on. The defense is moving away. They could actually... There's util on the defense. They will know about this. But
They should be able to know about it. Yeah, they'd have the Cypher utility at the very least. But as as you mentioned, right, they are leading a lot of the players on the side of Big T and Kittens towards B side. But the Cypher utility, the Cyber Cam will be able to spot out too, and there should be a rotation coming out from the side of Big T and Kittens. But Wisp, you're kind of fighting a bit too soon. I'm not sure if that's something you want to be doing here. As the Convergent Patch doesn't really find much value, and Flogger is able to find the pick down towards mid. Echo, aware of the flank, will still be taken down. A good off angle from Flogger. And with that, Yijing are 2 rounds away from securing map number 1.
unbelievable that they were able to bring that back after how it started. It is another timeout once again. They are, I mean, they have to, right, at this point. It is, there's no other chance to come back into this series, into this game rather. They haven't been able to push Yijing as hard as we would have hoped on this map. They've had some good moments though, and that is promising heading in towards a map that is, you would expect more in their home turf of Haven, right? And then potentially all the way on Breeze if it does manage to go all the way to that third and final map. We'll have to see a lot on the line here, and they've got so many abilities, not just in terms of their ultimates, but they've got the util to work with to try and bring this back.
Yeah, I think right now they do have a lot to work with, as you mentioned, right? The utility is definitely going to be playing a big factor here, especially since, you know, Big Team Kittens has 4 ults, but so do Yijing. So I'm expecting this Tour de Force to be coming out into play here on this 19th round. And honestly, I mean, we've seen Echo on the operator, who will be on an operator once again, but so is Swirl. So it's going to be a duel of the fates in a sense, you know, cue that Star Wars reference, but it is going to be all up to these opening picks with the operators to maybe decide how this round will go.
Back in a flash.
Now Echo once again off in hand. I have something to work with, but is spotted and immediately finds Swirl even still. Minimize around the corner. There's multiple people shooting in here. Minimize is so low, gets the first and lives.
Surprised he's able to get the kill there as CJK with Stinger in hand gets taken down as well.
Ooh.
It's all down to the last remaining player on the side of Big T and Kittens, which is Verdict.
Spike planted.
That's on the sphere available, but no way you're using it in a 1 versus 2, especially when the Not Dead Yet's available. And now they're rotating back towards mid. I feel like this is such a hard read for Verdict. You're not going to be expecting this flank here if I were him, you know?
No, Minimize. I know what's in your mind. Don't do it.
No.
Minimize. No. I'm begging you, do not do this. Oh,
Huh?
no.
No way!
No,
That's ridiculous! No! Was he not in the field of vision? Really?
Match point.
I cannot believe that. How did he get away with that?
Was he not in his line of sight at all? Like, I thought for a second that Verdict would see him at the corner of his eye, but was he really not in his vision?
Wow. I wish we could see it from Verdict's point of view, but the cone just must not have been there. That was... Oh my god. That is the kind of knife that you dream about getting every single night. I have no words. That just ruins the mental of Big T going into this, what might be the final round here. I cannot believe I'm lost for words. Wisp good for one. And they are going to use the money to bring us back into this from the madness that we just saw.
Oh, but 3 versus 3, at the very least, they're able to get an even out game, and they do have the resurrection available as well. Echo needs to be careful though, because they're pushing down towards A, and Echo does pick up a gun. Trademark should stall out this push on towards Elbow and Minimize. It's such an interesting angle for him. Should be able to get a pick potentially down towards mid as Spike is ticking. They need to go for the retake, and Zach should look for a resurrection, but there's not a single body available for him. Contact.
Resurrect
One
himself.
enemy remaining.
Around the corner. They've got 2. Maybe they can find something. It's just Kadiri on the defense. Got the angle, good for 1. Around the corner. Hang on a moment. It's just Echo left standing, but he manages to find it. And they hold on for 1 more round.
That's a beautiful saturate coming out from Echo, able to get the hinder on to Kadiri, who nearly clutched it up in the 1 versus 3, mind you. Who's, by the way, having a really good game at the moment. 20 and 12, really popping off on a Sova, you know. And they do say initiators normally don't pop off in like games like this, unless you're, let's say, a flash initiator. But I do beg to differ that Kadiri is showcasing a different type of initiator here, someone that's way more consistent and able to find these picks. But of course, it was still a round win for the side of Big T and Kittens, and they didn't even expend the resurrection, which they will be having into the next round. Now, thing is, will Swirl be using the tour de force here?
Oh, probably. At this point, I would imagine. Might end up saving it a little bit here. See how this Hunter's Fury ends up working out. The taser through the wall manages to find Zach at the very end. And Minimize as well. Backs him up. Might get Verdict as well. The angle there. See Echo around the corner. Immediately falls on down, and Verdict is last left standing once again. Deja vu here on Sunset. Is this the final moments for Big T? We'll have to see.
Oh my gosh, they're just playing with their food at this point. Verdict, not much to be working with. Trapwire as well available. Flogga will be the one to find the final kill, and with that, it's a flawless round for the side of EG.
second map. We'll have to see.
Of like pressure riding on the side of Big T and Kittens, given the fact that they are down 0-1 in a best of 3 series. It is series point for Yijing, and you look at the stats of Yijing, you can see that 3 of their players are looking very much stable, very much consistent already right off the bat, and you do not want to be fighting off against a warmed up Yijing, because I feel like you're gonna struggle a lot. And given the fact that it was a 13-8, it wasn't that big of a lead. There's still a lot of pressure and a lot of, how to say, control coming out from side of Yijing, despite it being a somewhat close map number 1. So map number 2, Big T and Kittens, they need to shake things up here.
Now, I wonder what they're going to bring out for this this second map here. Obviously, at Haven, there's a lot that is viable, but they have some tools at their disposal. You know, looking at their previous record, I don't know if they have played Haven in their elimination match where they took down Rampage. They played the Waylay still. They played a pretty standard composition, all things considered, in a quite dominant victory over Rampage in that match. And they played it again in their decider against Noob Esports with that exact same composition of the Omen, the Waylay, the Cypher, the Jet, and the Sova. So I'm expecting that is what we're going to see heading in towards this all-important second map.
Yeah, but with that being said, of course, that is map number 1 finish. Yijing are up 1-0 here. So I'm looking forward to this map number 2 as well, Mercury, because I'm sure it's going to be a banger, you know. But with that being said, we are going to be going in a quick little break, guys. Make sure to stick around because we'll be back real soon for the TXG Valorant Circuit Invitational.
you no lie. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Listen my song, kill that the hi-fi. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Play enough for so you can say you're a ballad. Have whole heap of girl that a link a lot. Me a the big dog, rough now must win a lot and every month I hit pass spin the slots. Boy, cause you know me no play. Can't shut me up, me have enough things to say. Real dog gun, we not in a delay. Say we a chat live and we a listen Johnny K. Play enough for so you can say you're a ballad.
Hello and welcome back everyone to the TXG Valorant Circuit Invitational Semifinals, day number 1. Of course, we are here for the best of 3, game number 2 between Yijing versus Big T and Kittens. Once again, I am one of your casters for the Night Abyss, and joined with me is the one and only Mercury, and we're here to bring you map number 2, guys. It is gonna be Haven. Are you looking forward to this, Mercury? Because I'm sure you are.
I'm not going to lie, Yijing kind of crushed them last map. They had some good moments, but overall, I think Yijing is continuing to dominate over the course of this tournament. Now that we're on Haven, I suspect that, while this is, Big T's map pick, all things considered, I don't necessarily give them that much of an advantage in that way. Obviously, I believe that they will be on the offense to start things off, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll have to see if they can really string together more than like 2 rounds in a row, because that was something that really hampered them on the last map.
Yeah, I feel like right now Big T and Kittens, they are looking at a little bit of a high pressure scenario, right? Because they're down 1-0, right? They're down 0-1, sorry, in this series, given the fact that, they lost map number 1, best of 3. Not much leeway to work with at this point. And yes, as you mentioned, right, they need to kind of like win out like the first few rounds, or at least get that momentum going, especially since I feel like Yijing, given the fact that they picked defense on this map, I mean, Big T and Kittens picked attack on the first map, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Yijing are a lot more comfortable starting off as defense and kind of like getting that momentum on forward to somewhat topple them down once they're on the attack side. And I feel like that's the whole strat Yijing likes to do. They kind of get in the enemy's heads first and then push the momentum further once they start to attack, right? And Big T and Kittens, I'm wondering if they can like somewhat change things up here, given the fact that Haven is a 3-side map, typically attacker sided to a degree. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, 100%. It doesn't really have too many of those. Like, it still has some close quarters situations, but those long lanes on both of the sides of the map are really going to be the way that they play these maps, these sites as a whole. And honestly, based on what we've seen with the op, I'm not going to discount Echo, right? These could definitely still put up a fight there, but see what it comes down to in this agent select. Like I mentioned before, this is the standard 5 that Big T always goes for on Haven. Nothing to be out of the ordinary there. So we'll have to see what Yijing choose to counter it with. Obviously they don't know, but there's the Vice on their side, the Brimstone as well. A very, very different composition to what Big T's going for.
Yeah, I feel like I am much more of a fan of Big T and Kittens. Granted, of course, it's a more traditional Omen, Cypher, Sova, right, that you'd be seeing with a Whaley instead of like a Phoenix, right? And normally you kind of value a lot of these flashes, right? On a map like Haven. But yeah, I think Yijing, they're running more for that aggressive composition with that double flash, with a Yoru, with a Sky, even with a Vice technically. So even more flashes to work with on the side of Yijing. It's definitely a bit more strange, I'd say. Something that you wouldn't really be expecting on a map like Haven. But Yijing, maybe they're cooking something up that we won't expect.
And maybe indeed they continue to surprise us with the, I will say, unorthodox team compositions that they are going with here. But the agents are definitely the ones that we wouldn't expect to be first and front of mind when it comes to these maps that we are seeing from them. But I'm not going to doubt them, because every time I've doubted them in the past, they've continued to just prove the haters wrong. And they are one of the most dominant teams across this year and across recent Valorant in general in this region. So I'm going to give them a little bit of leeway here coming into this. Obviously, like I mentioned before, Big T, they're fighting for not their tournament lives, because if they lose, they'll still be playing in the bronze medal match, but they're fighting for a chance at that gold medal, for a chance at taking home the prize and taking home the title of champions of the TXG Invitational. So a lot is on the line here for Big T. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, I think Big T and Kittens, they need to like pull off everything they can in this map number 2, especially since this is like the deadliest position they could be in this tournament. Because if you end up losing here, by the way, there's no lower bracket. You are there to battle for 3rd instead. So no shot at going back into the grand finals here if you lose out on this best of 3 series. By the way, I forgot to mention this, but Big T and Kittens definitely have a funny logo. Like, I gotta say.
Oh, it's
perfect. It's perfect.
perfect.
It's perfect. You're right. You're right.
And if you look at it, that mole thing, whatever it is on Haven in the background of that picture. So maybe this is their secret strategy. Maybe
but it's
this
a
is
Phoenix.
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
a Phoenix.
I don't know. Maybe Zach can do a bit of a Phoenix cosplay with the jet. We'll have to see. But even still, this is their comfort territory. As with pretty much any player, Haven is that comfort territory. So let's see what they can bring to the table here. Yijing starting out on the defense once again.
Yeah, and I gotta say, by the way, Yijing has a team composition that reminds me of my low elo lobbies. I gotta say, this is not what you'd be expecting, admittedly, in a map like Haven. But let's see how this goes, because Dragon, on a Brimstone, no longer on his duelist, is going to be looking for a potential mid pick here as they're pushing down forward. Ooh. Dragon's able to find a kill on the Verdict, hunting for a second, but Echo will be putting him down with the Ghost. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but the side of Big T and Kittens are going to be moving towards the C side, but Yijing are reading this. Swirl needs to be careful of this little position that Wisp is on, but Wisp gets taken out. Minimize spots out the 3. Lightspeed coming on forward by Echo, who's might as well in the default position, able to find a kill on the Floga. In fact, Kadiri ends up falling as well. Minimize holding on to the backside on his lonesome, but Echo is there for the shot, but Swirl on the counter flank, looking for another kill. Paint Shells coming on forward. Does end up missing out on the paint shell, but will find the final kill with the headshot there onto Echo. And with that pistol round, close round, but we'll be going to the side of Yijing.
A statement way to start things off here, as I love the see-through scoreboards here. It is absolutely perfect. What an incredible way to start this all-important map here. Big T continuing to put up a fight for Yijing, and particularly Swirl, once again proving that this is the comfort, the flow state here for this raid. That is going to be a nasty paint shell as well, and Kadiri's good for 2 to start things off. It's a massacre in mid.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Verdict on its lonesome as well. Won't be able to make much out of that. And as you mentioned, right, it was a complete massacre, a bloodbath down towards mid window. The paint shells was beautiful. Kadiri with the swing as well to counteract that counter engage from Big T and Kittens. And with that, I mean, one ends up falling inside of Yijing, but a very valuable round as they get to contain a lot of their rifles, a lot of their guns into the bonus.
Absolutely, they do. A lot to carry over. The economy's in a pretty solid position for them as well. And honestly, if they can bring this home, they set themselves up dramatically in this first half here. Minimize going to be spotted and revealed. Blinding Lights gives them a bit of space to work with, and the Guardian, the shot is clean. Somehow they make that work. Wisp pushes forward, takes down 2. What is going on?
I mean, they end up falling on the side of Yijing despite Minimize's opening pick with that gate crash. And of course, they are going to try and reclaim that A main control, and they are able to pick up some rifles as well. But Dragon Be careful down towards mid here. Wisp Zera is able to find a kill on to Dragon, as now it's all down to Swirl. 1 versus 4 with the Vandal in hand. We'll most likely try to hunt out a kill because it is the bonus after all, and 48 credits. Now, real reason to save, but seems like Swirl is going to be taking his time here.
This has been a wild start to this game, I will say. And
Definitely.
I mean, it is series point for Big T, so I expect them to go all out here on the offense. What I didn't expect was for Yijing to match that energy and to continue to play that aggression here on this side of the map as Swirl gets one, start things off, and that's a good pick. Might find a second. Okay, they're just going to run on in, and suddenly this round win from Big T is looking a little less shiny.
Yeah, it was no longer as clean. A little bit of few dents there as they kind of mess up their what could have been a very much a strong round from their side on the bonus, but they end up losing 2 players, and of course Swirl will be able to save up that rifle despite kind of like being on a very strong position. Of course, buying out his team here at the very least. So Swirl is 5-0-1, by the way. 3 points away from that showstopper. Minimize as well. A bit away from that dimensional drift. I think we need to be careful on the side of Big Team Kittens because this orb will be heavily contested.
Pushing forward very aggressively. Minimize once again, like you mentioned, that orb going to be the target. It's all the way back to safety as well. And this crossfire, look at it. Through here, there is no chance that they are going to get an approach towards the A site. Flogger trades 1 for 1 around the corner. Just falls on down, and Dragon is there for it. It's just Zach left standing in this position. Maybe can find one more, but
He's potential.
Isolated spike is minimized. Captures the timing. 3 on the side of Yijing, continuing to dominate this game.
I mean, they were able to take a lot of that mid space control and reclaim A space as well. And of course, you gotta see that Minimize was contesting that A long control, and ends up gate crashing all the way down towards C. And of course, Big Team Kittens, they have no idea where he teleported to. So they had no information as to where this Yoru could be. And with that, he was able to sneak up all the way through C once that Cypher was dead, once Wisp was dead, and take control of that C long, and was able to go for that flank kill.
Now, once again, they're continuing that aggression, trying to claim this next ult orb. The smoke timing leaves a little bit more damage than they would have hoped for. As there's the Blade Storm, though, for Zach. But they're running out of space here. They're all sort of cornered into this approach towards B. Let's see where the focus is. Flogger around the corner. There's an off straight to the face. Guardian Mother, and it will be the 1-for-1 trade. There's 2. Oh no! Oh, man, he just hit on 1 HP.
This is actually very much winnable actually for the side of Big T and Kittens. They have the numbers advantage here, but Dragon will try to take it down 1 by 1 and will be on a 3K. It's all down to Verdict with the spike, who's booked himself all the way down towards A side, able to get that spike down most likely, and he'll try to clutch it up here in the 1 versus 2. They are on a pretty good position though on the side of Yijing.
The caster curse strikes once again. And now it's just Verdict left standing here. A really, really great hold on C long from the side of Yijing. They have the utility perfectly placed, and now what can they do in this situation? They're playing very, very passively here. They haven't given themselves a whole lot of time, but there's the orbital strike, so they will just strike incredibly precisely and give themselves just enough time to get this ult point and the defuse done. There's 4 on the board for Yijing.
A beautiful utilization of the orbital strike as well to get him out of the position on Hell. And granted, it wasn't even what killed a Verdict in that position, but of course it forced him into a duel that was unfavorable, and Swirl was just able to take that high ground position on top of default and just takes him down, right? And Yijing, despite us being Big T and Kitten's map pick, are definitely doing a stellar job on the defense side. This is what I was talking about, right? They are very much comfortable playing for these retakes, playing for these more like neutral spaces while having the advantage of not having to play off the clock.
Absolutely, they are. Now look at the ultimates available for them. They've got the dimensional drift.
Minimize.
They've got this showstopper available. Minimize continuing to hold through Garage here. There's two before finally being traded back. They're going to have to maybe go for something middle Garage here. But their options are limited because look at the flanks. They are getting pincered from every which angle.
Dragon, yeah, holding on to this mid play. As Swirl actually goes with the showstopper, unable to find the kill, but Dragon and Flogga are able to find their flanks, and Echo as well to fall. Yi Jing are looking dominant in this first half. Yeah, it's just absolute destruction inside of Big T and Kittens. They are not looking like they're getting a foothold in the door at all. In fact, the door seems to be locked and they're unable to open it up here, as now they're once again going to be in a bad economic position.
Slammed right on their face, left a big cartoonish little bump on their nose is how that door got shut. And now we are seeing the absolute dominance of Yi Jing that we saw glimpses of on Sunset, right? This is the Yi Jing that we expected going into this match. This is the Yi Jing that didn't lose a single map in the group stage, that has dominated not only over the course of this year, but collectively among their players for so long prior. Now they continue to hold strong here.
Dragon.
What is Dragon up to?
I have no idea. What in the world is this position from him? I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's expecting someone to walk in.
Let him cook.
Maybe he's expecting someone to walk in, right? And he's playing in a weird angle that no one will be able to see him. I have no idea what the strat is, but they're burning sky smokes. They don't have referable smokes. This is not going to be working in their favor if Big T and Kittens actually just play out the time here, because look at the position of Echo, who's made his way down towards C, and Flogga.
Well, they're spotted on the approach to A. Flogga's here as well, so every single approach towards the site is stopped. The Steel Garden as well. There is no approach towards this spike that will work. Maybe Zach finds something, takes a few shots, but gets one at the very least. Seaside has to be the focus.
Oh, Echo.
Now maybe regretting using all of those smokes earlier. Oh no, Echo! No! No, you can't miss that.
10 seconds left.
That is way too messy from Echo. I mean, that's not what you want to see. Agreed. Low HP as well. Dragon able to find a kill. Dimensional drift will be activated. They're going to be trying to take over backside. As now Dragon finds one game. And it's all down to Soda Still with the sortie from Minimize, however. Will be the one to take him down. And Yi Jing once again. They take another one from Big T and Kittens. And what should have been their round, by the way. Echo had such a beautiful flank position. And he only gets one.
It's all falling apart for Big T. Oh no.
My knees are gonna kill after
Every
this.
single angle there. And it started with the... I don't even know what to call what we just saw from Dragon. He's got 10 kills by now. I'll give him a little bit of leeway, but what was that?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like, it's definitely an interesting idea from Dragon that honestly I don't really know what to expect. But hey, he's a top frag on the side of Yi Jing. Let him do what he wants, man. If it works, it works.
Yeah, Echo's gonna regret missing that shot for the rest of this tournament. You've got to imagine here. Now the approach towards the A site. Has to try and make something happen there. There's a good start. Minimize falls on down. It's just Kadiri on the other side of that smoke. Dragon with one. There's a second.
Yeah, Dragon's on 17 HP, needs to be careful. The guiding light comes on forward, they jump through the smoke and wisp as well as Verdict are able to take control. Kadiri though with the Seekers available as well. As well, it's all down to Soda Still, who takes a kill, but the Trailblazer will be able to get the stun up, and it will be Soda Still falling. Yi Jing 7-1. There's a reference to that scoreline, but I'm not going to be saying it here.
A bit of Brazilian gameplay we see here from Big T. Yeah. As
exactly.
I hope that they call a timeout, like our incredible observers and production people just implied as well. I agree, because that was a messy round. They should have won based on how it started off with that incredible pick on towards Minimize, and then it just collapsed from there like we've seen all across this half so far. Now maybe they can find something.
Nice.
Minimize, never mind. There's a good shot. Gets the teleport to safety in just a moment. You got to imagine.
Fake
Never
out.
mind, goes for a second one. Has to run for the hills and the spray through. It's so clean. They are hunting them down. It's rabbit
Last
season.
player standing. Flawless. One
I mean,
enemy
at
remaining.
that point, like, Soda still. Notice how we took a second to like shoot the clone, right? Because he really wasn't sure. And in a
Yeah.
game where it's 7-1, you can very much expect Minimize to have a little bit of fun and be the
Oh,
fake
he'll
clone
pull
himself.
that, yeah.
Exactly,
He'll
right? So I
absolutely
don't
do that.
blame Soda still for shooting the fake out there. But of course, it was just a clone. And Yijing, once again, another round on the board. I don't know if Big T and Kittens have a chance anymore here, given the momentum they've been building. But that was an econ round from the side of Big T. So they are going to be on the rifle buys. Let's see if they can convert this.
This could be one of the most dominant games we've seen from Yijing over the course of this tournament so far. And it starts off like this again. Flogger, good for one. Somehow misses all of those shots and only goes down to the Hunter's Fury. And now they're going to try and take this side.
Yeah, but the sky smokes are making this a bit difficult to actually execute towards the backside. And if you don't have backside control, it's actually very difficult to plant the spike. Minimize with the operator smokes going down away from the map. And now Minimize unable to land the shots. Will be taken down by Soda Still. Unable to get the blind side out. Neurotech will be spawning out Dragon, who's trying to go for the spam on forward. Guiding will be blinding him out, but Kadiri is able to find a kill the verdict. And now Spike not yet planted just yet. Molly on the ground. Echo trying to find a pick onto Swirl. It's gonna be a lurk up, and I think they're gonna be supporting each other as Kadiri is gonna be running down towards Garage as Big T and Kitten
Rotation.
are looking to pivot towards B side. Guiding light available, but there is Dragon finding one. Wisp, however, with the trade, it's down to the 2 versus 2 from the shadows available if they want to pivot towards A side. But I think Swirl is ready for this. Kadiri looking to swing on forward. Able to find one, finds a second. It's a 3K for Kadiri. As Yijing once again, despite it being an even round, will be taking it.
These teams will not stop fighting each other. It is just go forward and shoot them. This is Valorant at its absolute core, just distilled here into this series, and Yijing is thriving in this territory. 9-1. They are 4 rounds away from moving on to the grand finals already, if you can believe it.
Standing ahead.
I mean, right now, I think Yijing are definitely in a very strong position to go towards that grand finals. As Dragon, speaking of positions here, it's a strong position. He's able to find one, finds 2, and the Trailblazers perfect. What kind of compatibility is this from the 2 players? As the guiding light from Kadiri secures another one. It's all down to Soda Still, who does find 2, making it so winnable. But Flogger is ready for him. It's another round for Yijing. The only round they dropped was bonus.
Last round in the half.
He can't keep
Last
getting
round
away
before the
with it,
switch.
Abyss. How does he do it every single time?
I don't know, Mercury. I don't know.
This gameplay, I mean, they're just better. That's what it is. They are just better. They are landing more shots. They are playing their util perfectly. They are playing the corners perfectly. There is nothing that this Big T team can currently do to counter what we are seeing. And I fear for them in a round's time, because they're going to be playing against this aggression when they're on offense. This is a defensive team right now.
Oh my gosh, Flogger, you can't be serious. Able to find a kill. And 22 HP left remaining on Echo. I mean, what are you supposed to do here? Us trying to get a shot to the box, trying to find a kill, but there's Wisp Zera able to find a kill to minimize at the very least now. As they are able to at least, yeah, it's a good start for the side of Big T and Kittens, blinding out his own teammate there. Seekers will be coming on forward. Kadiri able to find Echo now. As they are going to be trying to back away Big T and Kittens, however, Wisp is unable to move away from A long, as now it's a 2 versus 3.
Yeah, they're confident that they've pushed them off. And now Kadiri not going to go en route towards B and C site. They will know now, thanks to that smoke location. So Spike to go down for free. Where do they choose to aggress
Spike
towards
planted.
this site from? You got to imagine maybe
Spike
Swirl is going to go from Garage. Never mind, they're just going to go all the way through long, all three of them combined. Look at the angle. Verdict. The side is spotted
One enemy remaining.
and immediately going to be taken down. It's just so Distilled left standing here.
Oh man, it's not even a fair fight anymore, is it? Yijing, this is Big T and Kitten's map pick, by the way, and why do they look so much more comfortable for Yijing? I mean, on not their own map. I'm so confused.
I think I found out what it is. Dragon just got the paternity test back. He is absolutely Big T's father's this game. It is incredibly brutal to see what this gameplay has. I don't want to say devolved into because that makes it sound bad, but this is this is a massacre so far. And now, like I mentioned, they're on the offense. They're angling for C. And I don't know if Wisp alone can hold this. Wisp has had this looked decent. At least in the context of an 11-1. Has looked decent so far, but doesn't have a whole lot of util left to hold this side. This could be the death march here. As Echo, big chunk of damage, gets the first. And the spike as well.
The spike is on the ground, but Echo does get digged. And Flogger finds to come to Wisp, who's made his way down towards Cubby. You already have numbers advantage. Why are you playing such a risky angle, risky position? As Swirl walking on forward finds a kill out to Zach. It's all up to Zone still, trying to figure out a shot, but Swirl is just way too calm. Echo to fall. It's all down to Verdict in the 1 versus all. As 1-11, it may just be match point for Yijing.
Series point on the line. A Sheriff in hand. 4-11 is the score. Verdict has not had the tools available this map to really thrive. Has to find something, but that spike is ticking away. A bullet to the dome might just do it, and surrounded on all sides. There it is. 12-1. Their chances are slim to none in this series.
I mean, Yijing, Mercury, I gotta say, the gap is so large. I feel like you can fit the entire. It's a canyon. You can look. It's bigger than the Grand Canyon itself. You can fit like 500 Titanics in between this gap, right? Like, I gotta say, Yijing are just the better team, and we know this because of their experience, but they're proving it against a really strong team here as well, that they are very much dominant as Wisp. We're trying to force a pick down with the Sheriff, the guy like coming on forward as well. Swirl able to get some high ground, and now they're able to execute down towards the C-side. The smokes are making it a bit difficult, but the saturate's perfect, but Kadiri is there with the support. Verdict and Zach on their lonesome. They're playing with their food here. Zach is able to find 2, and yet he has to reload the gun. Verdict 1 versus 2. Boombot comes on forward. 2 bullets left remaining. Able to find the kill on Kadiri. Flogger looking for the swing. Spike on the ground. Verdict able to get a shot down onto 1 last bullet remaining. It's in the 1 versus 1 here, Mercury. They're typing in the chat. I can hear the chat being typed here.
8 health and a dream. But that dream might quickly become a nightmare here. Flogger has the position advantage to work with, has the util to work with. Verdict has nothing in the tank outside of a clean headshot. That would save them for at least 1 more round. But it is ticking down fast. 70 health. 4 bullets in the chamber. Hang on a moment. Might have something to work with. Has to reload. There it is. A ghost shot to the head. 13-1 for Yijing. And they will quickly move 2-0. What was that? What did we just see?
I don't even know what to say here, Mercury. That was just a dominant game. Again, they only dropped the bonus round in this entire map on the side of Yijing, and they just completely stomp out the competition that is Big T and Kittens, finishing off the series cleanly 2-0. I'm gonna be having dinner early here, folks. That's all I'm gonna be saying.
I mean, at the end of it there, you could just see they were, I don't want to say playing with their food, but they were just having fun with it, right? They knew that they could just take this series no matter what. And coming into the grand finals, they still have not dropped a single map here. They've gotten close.
My gosh.
They've gotten incredibly close, but they've never dropped a map. And look at Dragon, man. Nearly double Wisp's ACS, right? Nearly double the kills. It's crazy.
Agreed. I mean, honestly, you can even tell by the rounds that were lost and the deaths that Big T and Kittens, like even the round they won, it was just down to 2 players, which were Verdict and Wisp, by the way. If you look at the deaths and you count it out to the rounds won by Yijing, it was only 2 players left remaining in the round they won. So even the round they won was way too close of a call. And Yijing just completely take control of Haven, all on their hands. It was, everything was just completely in their favor, admittedly.
48 hours is all that separates them potentially from a spot in that grand, for taking the grand final, taking that gold medal. As we look at that map again, 13-8 and 13-1, a clinic of a night here for the side of Yijing. And like you mentioned, we get to go home early thanks to them. So you know, shout out to the boys. But I'm excited to see how they go in the rest of this tournament. That's not all of the Valorant action that we've got left over the course of this weekend.
Yeah, we still have a lot more in store for us, guys, because this is the first semis right here, Mercury, right? It's the first semis we got to see.
First? Are we going to see more of what we just saw?
We definitely will be. We definitely will be. It was, of course, Yijing versus Big T and Kittens. But, of course, guys, we still have the second semifinals on tomorrow as well between Troopers and Bows of the Buns. But with that being said, guys, that is it for today. Once again, I was your caster for the night, Abyss, and joined with me was the one and only Mercury. But we are going to be signing off. But make sure to catch us tomorrow for the second semifinals. Bye-bye.